All right. This class is one of my favorite classes, and seriously, I have watched several of you guys really come to life on screen. What is really important is for us to remember that people do business with people. They don't do business with brands. They don't do business with names. They don't do business with locations. They do business with people. And we can only see so many people in one day, right? I mean, like really on a good day, how many people could you like have a conversation with in a day? Like meaningful conversations, like where you're sharing
Six,
your ideas and your thoughts. Okay, six.
four. Yeah.
I don't know if I could emotionally handle more
Yeah, it would be draining, wouldn't it? It would be totally draining to have more deep conversations than six in a day. These poor therapists and social workers, y'all need to say a prayer for them right now because they see more people than that. Like, really think about it. So, if we don't get to connect with them in a human way through conversation, because there's only so much time in a day, and we do have to be good to ourselves and protect our own energy so that we have enough left to give to others and ourselves, right? Our important people, our significant people in our life. How do you connect any other way? How do you show who you are, knowing that people do business with people? Video is genius because you could sit there and post pictures and you can share thoughts. And that's kind of my default because I can do that at any time. I feel like, but it's still not the same. And even if people don't hear my voice, even if they don't see, I mean, they don't hear my excitement and my emotions through my words, through my voice. At least with video, they can see my hands moving. They see that I'm a human person and they can read the words because chances are they're really not going to listen to that much of what I said. They're going to listen to it. But they still need to see me moving rather than just post a picture and share words. So if you're, it's really been fun to watch those of you guys who have shown courage and bravery to get on video, how much of your confidence building is being built, and your conversations and how you're showing up in the room is better because of the confidence that you're having on screen. Carla's shaking her head because she totally knows what I'm talking about. So whenever you do get to the point where you get over the fear and get over the feelings of I can't do this and you start doing it, you really change your personality because you've really, you've changed your thoughts about yourself and what you can and can't do. And so I had Kyle join us because, well, number one, everybody loves Kyle and we like to see him as often as we can. Though he's easy to see on social, it's nice whenever he joins us personally. And he's not as easy to get anymore because he's traveling and speaking and coaching and doing all kind of cool things. So I feel very blessed that he had time today to be with us because I called him at the last minute. I think it was this weekend. So thank you, Kyle, for being here.
Of course.
I give out and encourage you guys now because I want you guys to do him a favor by buying his book on Amazon so that he, plays the algorithm game on Amazon. But I highly recommend everybody buy his book because it is the easiest thing to read, to follow. And even after you read it the first time, there's so many good nuggets. You could read it a couple of times and keep getting information in there that would help you in build your confidence and build your business. And I think those two things are really important and kind of go hand in hand. So it's on Amazon. Order it today. You'll get it tomorrow. But most importantly, leave him a review. He's doing us a big solid by being here today. So let's do him a solid by leaving him a review.
Please. And baby formula and diapers are expensive. And so I need all the book sales I can get, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And the rest of those kids are expensive too. So
that's right.
And what's super cool is I think he was totally genius and put QR codes throughout his book. So if the pages aren't enough, you can scan the QR code and he'll tell you what he just told you in the pages, but in long form and in more details. and give you examples. So it's super cool. So thank y'all for being here today. I wanted to go over just a couple of stats so that, oh my gosh, Danny, it's your birthday today. Today? Okay. Carla's is coming up. Well, hers is later on this month, but we're going to sing happy birthday to you real quick. Are you ready?
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. I'm not a choir singer.
Here we go.
Oh, Caitlin, you sing in the choir. You come up here. Yes, I saw you. I saw a video of you singing at choir. Huh? Okay, Caitlin's gonna sing for us. Ready? Happy
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Danny. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you all so very much. I can't believe I hit the big 7-2 today. So
Come on.
72.
yeah.
Love it.
Who'd have thought it? But thank you so much.
Who'd have thought? Hey, something super cool, fun fact about Danny. We've been talking about niche marketing for quite a while, and I've thrown a bunch of ideas at him about niche marketing, and he's TD'd all of them because I hadn't seen him do really that many of my great ideas. No, I'm kidding. You pick up on several of them. But reverse mortgage was something he wanted to do, something different that nobody else is doing and that he could totally relate to, because the conversation is one that he thinks about and he's talked to his wife about. So he is going into that reverse mortgage business, and we have our first. I don't even want to call it lunch and learn, but we are providing lunch, and they are going to learn. So I guess that's what you call it, is lunch and learn. Next month. So we'll keep you guys posted. Be watching for videos. But reverse mortgages are a great way, I think, for anybody over the age of 62 to sell their home, use the cash from their home, and instead of paying cash, keep their cash. I mean, they're going to need a down payment, and typically it's about 50%. But and I'll explain why if you want me to. But still, you know, a lot of folks plan on selling their home, buying something that's more affordable for them to maintain and live in, and they want to pay cash. Well, what do you need right now? Cash to live on, because typically they're on fixed income. We got rising expenses, and medical costs are going crazy. So keeping their cash is a really important thing. So if we can show them how to buy a house, you know, get out of that big home that's hard to maintain, take their equity, buy a house without having a mortgage payment, so they can and keep their cash, it just makes more sense in a lot of scenarios. It's not for everybody. It's a conversation to have with your seller. So if you guys are working with sellers that are over the age of 62 and want to explore that option, I think it's a great option. But Danny's going to be talking more about it, and I think he's going to do a lot more videos around that too, just to educate the public, because reverse mortgages have had a bad reputation in the past because they've been done wrong by people without good intentions. So be watching for that, because I really do feel like it's something in our area that we need to be able to offer people, and y'all need to be more aware of.
Michelle,
And as we move along, and I really wanted to be there today, but didn't quite make it. But anyway, as we move along, and I think everybody is aware of the aging of America, and you know, everything's on the news about Social Security and so on and so forth. So we as realtors need to be prepared for when somebody comes to us to consider doing a reverse mortgage. I think we need to be just as knowledgeable about that as we do helping first-time home buyers.
Absolutely. I love that you said that. Thank you.
hey, Michelle.
Yeah.
I believe you did say next month is a seminar, but isn't it the 10th of this month?
Oh, we're already in October. Next week.
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. I'll put it in the thing. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great. So Now on the other side of the spectrum, and the reason I'm bringing these up, because I want you guys to be thinking like, who is my ideal client? What do I, really, who do I want to serve? Because when you're talking on video, I want you to be authentic and be speaking to the people that you really want to help. So be thinking about what do I bring to the table? What makes me unique? What's my value proposition? So that whenever you are talking to people, you are confident in what it is that you bring to the table. Education in the high schools and colleges. That's another program that I'll be going pretty heavily in because we do have a financial literacy issue. I mean, these kids are graduating from high school and college without even knowing what it means to have a budget, to reconcile a bank account, to establish credit, to maintain credit, and and how to save money, and the power of compound interest and the cost of compound interest. So I'm going to be doing a lot of education around that. So if that is something that people are passionate about, I'll have content and I'll have some opportunities to help me get into these schools and go have those conversations. So I know Carla raised her hand on that one, so we will get together on that, but anybody else that's interested. But be thinking about what value do I bring to our community, and how do I need to be talking about that? I'm going to show you some stats, and then I want Kyle to jump into and share some new content that he has for us. Is that cool, Kyle?
Yes, ma'am.
All righty. Let me get over here to some stats, because I really like stats to really make you guys think, okay, now is the time. I really need to seize the moment and get on screen. So why video? So video is the most powerful tool that we have on the planet. You guys, you can connect with people by looking in the camera and delivering a message from the heart. So the beauty is it works when you're not working. I mean, if you can't be all things to all people in all places, it's just not possible. But through video, you can get your message out there. You can be seen, you can be heard. 80% of all internet traffic comes from video. That's a lot. So if you're not doing video and you're only doing posts and words, you're missing it. 80% of all internet traffic comes from videos. 78% of people watch online videos every week, and 55% view online videos every day. If they're not listening, they're still watching and reading. 84% of people say that they've been convinced to buy a product or service by watching a brand's voice. They want to know that you're true. And when we're talking about brand voice, we're talking about authenticity. We're talking about doing business from the heart and people being able to feel and see it. That's your brand voice. Oh, I said it says brands video. I inserted the word voice because I do believe that people buy from people. But those videos make a difference. And the marketers who use video grow revenue 49% faster than non-video users. I've got one more thing to share with you guys, and then I'm going to hand it over to Kyle. Kyle had a 30-day challenge. Was that August or September? That was August.
August. Yep.
And I posted it in the Facebook, in our Realtor for Growth Facebook group. And if you guys aren't in that, you need to be, because that's where I put this stuff out there. And I'll start teaching and sharing more in that group. Several of you guys took the challenge, and it has been really cool to see how much you've grown in your reach, your engagement, because I'm watching your numbers, I'm watching your views, I'm watching the comments. And I was talking to Preston Davis the other day, and he said his algorithms on his social platforms have totally changed in the last 60 days from doing the challenge. And all that was videos a day. But Coach Kyle would give you guys a prompt. So he'd give you instructions with the prompt and the whys of what you're posting. And then you guys would follow instructions and do it. And it's been really cool to see how it's had an impact on your social. So I think he's got some other cool stuff coming up. So if you miss those challenges, you still have some opportunities to really change the way you're showing up. And I think that part is really important. You need to show up, but you need to be yourself when you do. All right, Kyle, take it from here.
And I'm looking real fast. Let me, I put a playlist together, Michelle, on my YouTube channel of all 31 days.
Yeah.
And so I just post that's the link to the first video. So if you guys didn't do the challenge, you can do your own challenge with all my videos that I did live every morning, or you can pick 10 of the 31 and do 10 videos, right? Like the goal is to just do more than we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so however you can get there. Guys, I know so many of you, and so I love being with you guys. I love Michelle Castle. She is one of the absolute best. And I hope you guys don't take her for granted, because I get to work with mortgage lenders all across America. I will be with 3,000 of them in Vegas this weekend, and none of them are anywhere close to her. And so I hope you guys understand and appreciate like who you get to do life with, because this country is full of crappy lenders, and you guys are blessed with one of the best. And so, Michelle, it's always an honor to get to be with you and your people. Thank you for trusting me.
A round of applause.
That's right.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So
I love you guys. So y'all make it easy.
let me situate my screen so I can see everybody.
Yeah, and I'll move.
So I got it. So guys, I'm calling this "Stop Quitting on Your Content," because this is what I see constantly, is people that are always starting and then quitting, starting and then quitting, starting, and then you go 90 days and you're like, gosh, dang it, I need to be better at this. And then you try to do it again. And it's just this ebb and flow, this constant roller coaster of just, I'm doing it, I'm not doing it, I'm doing it, I'm not doing it. And so that's really why I did a 31-day video challenge, to help people create habit. If you commit to doing a video a week, nothing becomes a habit when we do it once a week. And so we've got to do it more at first to truly create that habit. And so for those of you that don't know me, I am a former pastor turned roofer, and now I'm a video guy. I call myself a video marketing therapist, because it's what I spend most of my time doing, is talking people off the ledge, talking people onto the ledge, getting you willing enough to put yourself out there. And it's what I love to do. And I want to give you guys a few data points as well as we jump into this thing. 91% of consumers want to see more online videos from their brands. 91%. 9 out of 10 people want to see you more. And if you don't consider yourself a brand, that is your problem, because you are a brand. All a brand is when a word is said, when I say McDonald's and you begin to shout out words, that's what that brand means to you. And so when somebody says your name in a room full of people, the words that follow are your brand. BJ, are you talking to me?
No.
Okay. So we've gotta get a grasp on this. Also, 8 out of 10 people have made a purchase after watching a brand video. Guys, this isn't 2 out of 10. This is 8 out of 10. And then think about this. 1 minute of video is equivalent to 1.8 million words. It's unbelievable. The world we live in, how I can show up on video. I already posted a video this morning before we started this class, so that while I'm doing this, my brand is still working for me out there. For most of you guys, this is what I hope you'll find scary. If you're not working, your business is dying. That's the truth for most of you. You are the catalyst for every good thing that happens in your business. So when you're not working, while you're sleeping, Your brand, your business is doing
I can-
nothing. My brand is working 24 hours a day on my behalf because of my willingness to put myself out there. And so we've got to be bought into this. And so what I want us to think about is, right, like you at this point, none of you can truly say, I don't think this works. You could say, I don't think this works for me. But there's too many people around you right now that can all speak to the power of video in their life and business. And so even though you know it works, you still can't stay on track. And so I want us to kind of break this down and understand this better. And I think it starts here. You don't need a better plan. You need to reset your beliefs. Because for some of you guys, you've been planning for years. You've been strategizing for an eternity. And it's in that strategy is the excuse for why you don't actually do anything. Well, I'm just trying to make sure I have all the right equipment. I'm just trying to make sure I've got, all my topics lined up. I'm just trying to make sure. And we will continue to say thing after thing as long as it keeps us from having to actually get uncomfortable and take action. And so here are some of the broken beliefs that we have. For some of you, maybe you've had a bad experience before. Maybe you tried a video and somebody you respect said something negative to you, or you did a video and your sister called you and was like, why did you do that video? Or your mom, calls you up and says like, oh, you probably should have, parted your hair the other way. I wouldn't have worn your glasses. I would. And so some of us have truly had bad experiences. And that's real life. That's okay. For others of you, you truly are still stuck in, it won't work for me. Michelle, I get it. I understand why it works for you. You're fun. You're bubbly. You wear cool hats and cute glasses. But you're not me. And so we love to praise other people while discrediting ourselves, because it keeps us from having to get uncomfortable. And so we got to stop doing this. Some of y'all have been in real estate so long that your lack of belief is deep down inside going, I haven't needed this before. I didn't need this in the 90s. I didn't need this in the early 2000s. I didn't need this 10 years ago. And so if it's not broke, don't fix it. And so you are stuck in doing business how you've always done it, instead of evolving and growing and learning and putting yourself out there in new ways. And if this is truly, guys, how you want to live your life, go exchange your car for a horse. Because in the early 1900s, when Henry Ford released the first car, you know what a ton of people said? What in the world do we need a car for? Man, our horse and buggy is great. And as they began to get zoomed by down the road, they started going, oh, maybe this horse isn't as good as I thought it was. Some of you are still holding on to your horse and carriage while you're letting other people zoom by you, and you refuse to admit that you have a problem. We got to get over this. We got to do better. Also, some of you are stuck in the belief that you'll be made fun of. Guys, do you know who makes fun of people? The ones that aren't doing anything.
Yeah.
Right? We've all heard the saying, the loudest boos come from the cheapest seats.
Oh, I like that.
Right? Like, we love to downplay the people actually doing the work because it makes me feel better about not doing anything. I love to downplay the people that work really, really hard and go, well, you're probably not a great parent. And I use that as my excuse for not working hard enough because I bet I'm a better parent than you. Like, we're just so good at this. Here's what I've learned. When I go to Vegas tomorrow morning, and I'm around 3,000 of the top mortgage brokers in America, again, none of which who are better than Michelle Castle. Guys, Michelle can speak to this. There is no competition at the top. there is only collaboration. I get to watch the top mortgage people in America come together and collaborate. It's all the bottom feeders in the mortgage industry that hate each other, don't want to help each other, try to keep their secrets to themselves. There isn't a single person that will make fun of you on social media that's actually doing the work. There will only be celebration. And we've got to let this go. I get trolled by people on TikTok. Most of them don't even have a profile picture. The other day, I got trolled by a guy whose picture on TikTok was a bird. And I'm going to let that guy keep me from serving people? The bird man on TikTok? We got to let this stuff go. And then the last one, guys, for all of us, I'm too what? All right, fill in the blank. I'm too busy. I'm too fat. I'm too old. I'm too this. I'm too... We all have a million excuses that honestly, guys, your people will validate for you. You'll tell your spouse you're too busy and your spouse will go, babe, you're right. You are so busy. And they'll validate you. And so no one is coming to save us. We have to do a better job of this. And I want y'all to understand something. I don't love social media. So stop using the excuse that, well, like if I like social media like Michelle and Kyle, guys, I hate social media. If Michelle could cut me a check for $1 billion today, I'll delete all of it. I don't need your validation. I am not an insecure person that needs the accolades of strangers. I use social media because currently it is my greatest opportunity to serve people. That's why I do it. And so what we have to understand is if you are comfortable, I can't help you. If you're not hungry, this won't work. You have to get to a place to where you go, oh my gosh, I'm losing. And I'm going to continue to lose if I don't adapt, if I don't get uncomfortable. But as long as you get to be in your ivory tower, feeling good about yourselves, you won't do anything that I talk about because it's not worth it to be uncomfortable for you. So you have to get there. And here's what I'm learning. What I'm learning is that increasing love is easier than decreasing fear. I talk to people. Thank you, Michelle, for that. I talk to people all the time that go, well, Kyle, like I would do more video. I'm waiting to feel less afraid of it. I'm working towards, calming my nerves. And guys, what I'm learning is we can't take fear away. It's impossible. I've always wanted to cage dive with great white sharks. And it doesn't get me closer to wanting to do it by trying to convince myself of, I think they want me to be in the water. And I know their teeth are big, but I bet most sharks don't even want to eat meat. I bet they prefer plankton and seaweed. There's just not enough of it around. So they have to eat seals and humans. All right, I can make up all this stuff when the reality is they're freaking huge sharks. And so if I can't increase my love for the ocean, for adventure, I'm never going to do that activity. So you guys have to go figure out, what is it that I love about the outcome of facing my fear? And that's how you're going to win. My superpower is that I care more about serving people than looking stupid. I care more about serving people, about helping people than looking stupid. That's my superpower. So I will show up every day in front of this device as long as I truly believe that I have a place to serve and help people. And so I want you to swallow a hard pill today, which is, if you claim you love helping people, but you're unwilling to get in front of the camera, you don't love helping people as much as you say you do. That's what I believe. And so we've got to change the way we do this. And our greatest adversary, guys, is our ego. Because one of the big things that we struggle with is we let our ego drive everything we do. And as long as we bring our ego to social media, we will never do what we're supposed to do because your ego will talk you out of it. And so there's some things that we've got to stop. We've got to stop being selfish. Here's my listing. Here's my buyers. Here's my closing. Here's my, me, my. Guys, realtors are the worst. They're the worst at this on the planet. There is not an industry in the world. I don't even think direct salespeople are as bad as realtors. At constantly bragging about how great you are. That's all most of you know how to do. And sadly, you've been taught this by your leaders. They give you graphics at the end of every month with your numbers on it. And they want you to post them. But isn't it interesting? I've never seen a doctor post about did 18 open heart surgeries this month. Or like, I've never seen a dentist say I cleaned 184 sets of teeth in September. There's not an industry on the planet that does what we do. And so we've got to reconsider, why are we doing this? If the goal is to brag, right? Congratulations, you're crushing it.
Hey, Kyle.
Yes.
You know, we talked last week about the importance of reviews. So
Yeah.
if you're asking for reviews, the social proof is what others are saying about you. You should not have to tell others about yourself. Others will be saying it for you.
100%. And guys, and I'm not trying to say never post numbers, right? Like, it's all about the storytelling. Like, instead of selling, say serving. Instead of clients, say families. Because serving families sounds way better than selling clients. And so sometimes it's just a simple shift in phrasing that changes the way people read what we post about. Post your closing photos. I'm not saying don't do that, but tell me the story of who the Smiths are. Tell me the problem you helped the Smiths solve, not congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, for letting me help you sell your house. Nobody cares. We've got to engage people through story. Guys, if I just get, like, for those of you that are friends with me on social, you're going to see me tell the story of speaking in front of 3,000 people in Vegas on Friday. But if all I do is make a post where I'm like, guess what, guys? I get to speak in front of 3,000 people tomorrow. Who cares? Who cares? And so you're going to watch me tell story after story so that what you find yourself doing is going, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of Kyle. I remember being in a room with him with 11 people in it. And now he gets to be in front of 3,000. This is so cool to see. And it's all about the way we tell stories. We get outside of ourselves and make it about other people. And the goal with all this is practice. We can't do this overnight. So we also, guys, we have to stop waiting to feel inspired. Well, you know, like I haven't done a video in a while because I hadn't really felt it. Why do we give ourselves this excuse? You know, I hadn't seen my kids in a week because I just wasn't really feeling being a dad. I don't get to say that. Hey, honey, I'm going to go stay at a hotel this week because I'm just not really feeling being a husband. There probably are some husbands that have done that. They're not husbands anymore. We don't just get to choose when we want to do the things that matter. And so we've got to push through waiting to feel inspired. We also, guys, we have to stop chasing likes. For many of you, like, you live in really one of the few rural-ish areas of Dallas-Fort Worth. And so you don't need 1 million followers. You don't need 10,000 followers. You just need the people you already know to remember you exist. Yep. And so you don't need to keep thinking, well, what video can I do that's going to get the most likes? What video can I do that's going to get the most views? You are the expert, right, Danny? For you, you're the expert of reverse mortgages. And you could go, well, I don't know if I am yet. You're an expert compared to the consumer. And that's all that matters. As long as you know more than the people you're speaking to, you are considered the expert. I'm not the expert of all things social media, but I'm the expert to you guys. I have more to give to you, and that's got to be our goal. We've got to stop chasing every trend. We've got to stop looking for all these things that do what? Feed our ego. And we have to start going, you know what? The video that gets 47 views, but it's about reverse mortgage, I bet those 47 people are pretty interested in a reverse mortgage. So if I can keep good content about that topic in front of people, it's going to turn into opportunity. While other people are going to go, Danny, don't you kind of feel like a loser? Like that video got 47 views. Guys, y'all know how much commission can be earned in your industry. If 4 of those views, if 10% of those views turned into income, that could be $30,000, $40,000 just from that 47 view video that everybody else said would make them feel like a loser. We've got to stop this and do it different. And we've already talked about it, but it's worth saying again. We have to stop quitting too soon. Guys, Friday, when I take the stage in front of 3,000 people, this will officially be my single biggest moment of my career. And I will get put on a map, and people will know about me that didn't know about me before, and people will start asking me, bro, how'd you do this? How did you get to speak in front of 3,000 people? And you know the answer that they don't want is, man, I started doing this 9 years ago and I've never stopped. I started serving people through video content and I've never stopped. I started teaching classes for free 8 years ago and I've never stopped.
It took 9 years to be an overnight success.
100%, Danny. And guys, this is the only way. Michelle's not an overnight success story in the mortgage industry, but all her predecessors, they want to go, oh, Michelle, give me some advice. They don't want her advice because her advice is go work your butt off and never stop. Go serve people and never stop. And only ask yourself, how can I do more? How can I serve greater? But we live in a world full of lazy people that don't want to put in the work. And so when I become, Danny, an overnight success Friday afternoon, that overnight success has 9 years of frustration and struggle and resistance. Thank God I didn't give in. And it's going to be a lot of fun. This is everybody's story that starts and doesn't stop. And you're going to fall off the horse. You're going to not do it for a couple weeks, but just make it that commitment that you're going to keep going. Right? You can do this. And so for us to kind of make this easy, guys, we have to know our pillars. I teach from what I call pillar content. And so this is how every day we don't have to wake up and go, what am I going to post about today? You always operate from your pillars. And so these are the 6 pillars that I like. You can choose your own pillars. And so I want to touch on them briefly. You should always have a family pillar. We could add friends to this. We could even add our pets to this. But who are we doing life with on a regular basis? That needs to be present in our content. Because we have a 4-month-old, our 3rd child, she's 4 months old, baby Ruby. And every time I post about baby Ruby, people show up in droves. Oh, she's so pretty. Oh, she's adorable. When I'm in person with people and I talk about it, they're like, oh, wow, your other kids are 10 and 8. Did you do that on purpose? And now we get to have this whole conversation about how I looked at a picture of our family and it felt incomplete. And on a date night with my wife, I said, hey, I feel like we should have another baby. And that I expected her to say, yeah, if you want to birth it, we can for sure have one. And instead, what she said was, I feel the exact same way. And so baby Ruby has completed the Draper family. And when I get to tell that story, what does it do? It draws people in. It makes me more memorable than, hey, Kyle, what do you do? I'm a social media expert. Okay, cool. See you later. We've got to leverage our family in our content. We've got to have a pillar that's defined by our passions. What are you passionate about? My business partner in my coaching company, he's a real estate broker in Denton, and he loves to bow hunt. And bow hunting season starts in like a couple weeks, I think. And so he's going to be posting a ton of pictures about bow hunting. And guess what? I don't care. I've never hunted in my life. I don't plan to. It's just not something that I think is fun. But you know how many people also love hunting that will be commenting on his posts and paying attention to like the big buck that he's trying to get? And that's going to draw people into his business because it has something to do with his passions. What are you passionate about? Are you talking about it on social so that people like you can feel more connected to you? This is huge. For me, I'm a big fan of Jesus, right? As a former pastor, I love him with all my heart. And so I, at times, create content about Jesus. I create content about scripture, and it draws people in that think similarly to me. And I've got new clients that literally say, man, the reason I chose you is because I know you love Jesus, and so do I. And so I know I can trust you. That's it. They didn't say, I read all your 5-star reviews on Google, and man, do you seem great. No, it was as easy as we believe we're going to the same place when we die, and that was enough for them. Do your people have any idea what you're truly passionate about? Or do you keep that off of social media for whatever the reason? Your daily life should be a part of your one of your pillars. This should be most effectively done through our stories on Facebook and Instagram, right? Stories are at the top. They last 24 hours. And so this is where we truly post stupid stuff like, what do we eat for lunch today? Where'd you go on date night? What movie did you see? What Netflix show are you binging? This is where we put that stuff. And as weird as it is, guys, people care. People care. I can post where I'm eating, and I'll get 5 or 6 people to DM me that are like, dude, we haven't tried that place yet. Was it good? Guys, it's weird. And you're allowed to think it's weird, but it doesn't make it less real. That because we've made ourselves so readily available to people, we're more nosy and more curious than we've ever been before. And so we need to play into it if you want to win on social media. You also, guys, you need to have a pillar that's simply business education. So for many of you, you need to stop being a salesperson in real estate and start being an expert of real estate. Because most of you come across as salespeople. Very few of you come across as experts, if you're, as the trends say. Educate, educate, educate. Educate people. Create value for people. And I want to give you guys 2 questions, and I'm going to put these in the chat because I don't have a slide for it.
Hey, Kyle, what's the QR code at the top?
I just put QR codes throughout. So if you guys want these slides, you can submit the form and my team will send you the slides. If you want to be in my email, like get my emails that I send out, you can fill out the form. If you're interested in any of our services, if you want to buy my book, right? All those things are possible through that QR code. So that's what that's for. So 2 questions that'll change the game for you forever. The first question is this: what do you get asked the most about real estate? What do you get asked the most about real estate? Every room I'm in, I ask people, how many questions do you think you get asked over the course of any single transaction? And somebody will always say 1,000, which obviously is being slightly facetious, but we always land in the 30 to 40 range. Probably 30 to 40 questions. Guys, every single one of those questions should become a video on your social media. Every single one. The answers to these questions are what positions you as the expert. This is what people want to know. And so if you do this well, guys, if you would commit to this, you could end this year with 30 videos on your YouTube channel positioning you as an expert. Some of them will be 60 seconds. Some of them might be 8 minutes. It just depends on the depth of the question. Danny could have an entire series. He could have a whole playlist on his YouTube channel called Reverse Mortgages.
Let's do it.
And then he's got a 10-part video series all about reverse mortgage. Who would you pick to do a reverse mortgage? The person that says they're good at reverse mortgage, or the person that can prove it to you by the expertise that they have online? This is how simple this is. And the second question is this. Sometimes it's hard to type at the same time as you speak. What am I surprised that people don't already know? So when you're in conversations with people and you mention something and they go, whoa, 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 you said earnest money. What is that again? Do I get that back? What if the deal falls through? Does that earnest money carry over to the next property? Aren't these all real things that people have said to you? 100% they are. And then in your head, right? So I see Tracy is agreeing with me big time with her head nod, right? So Tracy, if you're like a normal person, you've probably even at times found yourself frustrated with like, good night. People ask me this all the time. All the time. I feel like a broken record. Well, guess what, guys? If you were to create that video, put it on YouTube, and then the next time somebody asks it, you go, that's a great question. I actually get that question a lot. Let me send you a link so you can see how I answer that question. And you can also show it to your spouse later if you want to. And then what else exists where that video is? All your other videos. All your other videos. Melissa put in the chat, how's the market? You know what my problem is with this question? This is typically, if a realtor is willing to do a video, this is all you do. How's the market? How's the market? How's the market? How's the market? When there's so much better content than that. Not that that can't be content, but let that be one of 50 other things you do. Not, well, every month I do a how's the market report. There's so many better ways to educate people than just with a very broad stroke, how's the market? Right? I'd rather see you guys break that down into how does what the Fed just announced impact Sherman, Texas? Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Even though 80% of that video and a how's the market video is the same, saying how does this impact Sherman, Texas versus how's the market, that changes the way people pay attention. Because people in Sherman are naturally going to go, yeah, if you're talking about market like DFW, it's not the same up as it is up here in Sherman. So they're instantly not paying attention. But you say their city, and now all of a sudden people are like, oh, I am interested in that because this is where I live. And so let's dig a little bit deeper and be a little bit more intentional with how we do this stuff. And then this plays great into the fifth pillar, which is local community. Guys, each of you should be running for digital mayor of your town. Whichever town you live in, right? If it's Sherman, if it's Whitewright, Like whatever it is, you should be able to be the digital mayor of that town. You should be spotlighting local places. You should be interviewing somebody on the school board. You should be interviewing the owner of your favorite barbecue place. Like get on camera with other people and watch unbelievable things start to happen. And what's cool about where most of you live, all of this works faster the more rural the area. Because if I'm teaching a realtor in Plano, Texas, how to do this, the competition in Plano, the noise in Plano, it's just so much greater that this could take a year for them to begin to pick up traction. For some of you, this could take 60 days. Before the year is over, you could already be feeling the impact of showing up on video more. It's unbelievable. And then the last one, before we keep going, and I'll actually stop for it when I finish this part, and if y'all have any questions. Guys, I don't know if y'all know this, but like we live in a pretty crappy world right now. Like every politician says they're fighting for us. I don't know that I believe it. The school boards everywhere are making wild decisions. Like we live in a crazy place that lacks leadership desperately. And so we need hope. We need encouragement. We need to believe in ourselves. And so you have this opportunity to be the person that people say, you know what I love about Mark? Every time Mark's in the room, I feel better about myself. That's what I love when people say about me. I just love being around Kyle because I feel better when Kyle's there. I'm encouraged when Kyle's there. This is such an opportunity that we have to just be encouragers to people. And most of us aren't doing it because we feel inadequate, or we don't know what to say, or we don't see how this ties to business. When the reality is you are your business. Every time your mouth opens, it has the ability to help your real estate business. Every time. Whether you're talking about parenting or your relationship with the Lord or an open house, every time you open your mouth, it has the opportunity to serve your business. We just have to open our mouths more often. And so does anybody have any thoughts or questions about these before I keep going? Are we learning anything?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Does anybody regret being here this morning?
No.
You just keep your thoughts to yourself if that's you today.
That's you.
Okay, so
Oh, wait. Caitlin has
Yes.
something to
Well, it's not really a question. It's just
a statement.
piggybacking.
Yeah. Caitlin's gonna come up here so you guys on Zoom can nod your head and go, yeah, Caitlin.
I'm not trying to steal Coach's thunder here.
please steal it, Caitlin. I will happily give it to you.
I don't know where my face is on this, so.
Yeah,
I see you.
Okay.
Okay.
I have an example of this that happened to me this week, and it's on my heart and I wanted to share it. So I was at Waterloo the other day and I was jogging kind of in my zone, and I saw one of my old clients in the car, and she got out, she said, "Hey." And I was kind of like, at first, we'll be honest, I was like in the zone, I was jogging, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna, I'm out of my flow. So anyways, I stopped and she said, "I ran into you and I feel like it was a God thing, that I saw you here." Well, she proceeded to just tell me like a lot that's gone on
Like
in her
hard
life.
stuff, heavy
Yes.
stuff. Yeah.
Gone through a lot of heavy things. And so in that moment, I just talked to her, and then I said, "I want to pray with you before we leave. Like,
Yeah.
let's just pray." And so I got to, just have that moment with her. And it goes to show you that we're not just selling a house. Like we're, so anyways, I'm going to stop because I'll start
Caitlin,
crying.
I love it.
That's what I do.
You're crying.
I cry
I'm
all the time.
crying.
But we do, it's more than just, you're building a relationship, and any career you do can be more than just a business. It can be you pouring yourself into others. So, anyways.
That's so good. Thank you for sharing that.
You guys, I just want to pause for a moment and just now you got me all weepy.
Sorry.
No, I'm glad you did. I like to feel emotions. You feel all the emotions all the time. I just want to pause here right now and just reiterate what Kyle is saying. There's a lot of heavy stuff going on right now. There's a lot of people going through heavy things right now. And I think more than ever, we need to be showing up and leading through love and serving our community. If it's not us that they're getting information from, who are they getting information from? And do those people really have their best interest at heart like you do? So if you're not showing up where you are remembered whenever they have the question or when they see you at the park, like if Caitlin wasn't,
This is
so,
our speaker, Kyle Draper.
hey, wait, you're going to want to mute yourself because you might be saying something about Kyle. We might
Don't say anything bad about me, Melissa. We can hear you.
If you're not showing up right now, you're doing our community a disservice.
Yeah.
And if Caitlin hadn't been showing up like she had been, would her client have noticed and felt that her heart was pure and that was a safe place to share some deep information? And that gave her an opportunity to connect with someone and witness to someone and just really be helpful in that moment. So I just can't tell you the importance enough of showing up and just following through with your convictions of sharing more of what's on your heart and how you want to serve our community. That's this session, this class right here, I think is our most important, because I just want you guys to feel the need, and then the confidence will build over just doing it. And so, anyway, I thank you for allowing me to share that, and thank you for sharing, Caitlin. All right, now
guys, this is why I love what I get to do. I don't love being a social media expert. Like, who cares? I love empowering people to realize the impact that you can make by just simply showing up as yourself more.
Amen. Yes.
And what I want y'all to also understand about what Caitlin said, right? Michelle just said it, that person may have not felt comfortable to stop Caitlin had Caitlin not become very active on social media and have earned the trust with that person. But also, guys, Caitlin could have also taken that home, and as that burden built over her of just the heaviness of the lives people are living right now, Caitlin could have done a video where she just said, guys, if this is weird, I'm sorry, but I just want to pray for all my Facebook friends, because life is hard right now. And so I just want to ask the Lord to intercede on our behalf and cover our kids and our families and our schools. And how many people, again, this isn't why we do it, but how many people would end up buying a house from her just through those connections? Mm-hmm. Wow, the only realtor I've ever known that prayed over me. Mm-hmm. And Caitlin's going to go, but we never even met in person. But it doesn't matter because it happened on social media. Mm-hmm. And so these are the things that we're missing out on by just not being more present. Mm-hmm. So this is why this is a game changer. And so to kind of start landing this plane, right? Stop hoping to reap from the seeds you didn't sow. Oh. Guys, if you are wanting social media to work for you, but you're never really doing anything there, stop. Stop hoping to reap from the seeds you didn't sow. You want to sow good seeds. You want to reap what you want to reap. You better get out there and start planting. And then you get to harvest. We don't get to harvest first. We have to plant first. And so go create value for other people, knowing that you're going to reap what you sow. And we usually use that negatively, right? Well, you reaped what you sowed. And we talk about that like you shouldn't have been a bad person. Then maybe you wouldn't have reaped that. But why don't we take this and flip it and make it about the positive? Why do I get to do what I get to do on Friday with 3,000 people? Because I have been sowing good seed over and over again without ever stopping. all of you have this at your potential. And so where I want to end this thing is, if you want to do this well, you've got to create rhythm in your life. And so for some of you, we're all different. So for some of you, you might work really well with what I would call a content day. This gets calendared in your calendar. It gets treated like every other meeting. You decide, I'm going to record these 5 videos today. You bring 5 different tops and you knock them all out.
Hey, can I pause you for a second there?
Of course.
Of course I can, because it's my class. Ha,
You're the boss.
I'm the boss. What I have found in teaching time management and really being intentional with how you're spending your time and you're building business and creating your marketing strategies is that a lot of times we don't show up for ourselves. So if putting a content day on your calendar means that if someone else calls, you'll rate them more important than this, then pick an accountability partner and you guys work content day at the same time, at the same place, and help each other, and you'll hold each other accountable, and you'll have someone to hold the camera for you too. So,
Good.
So that's a great way to do content day.
And guys, when I say content day, you also don't have to let that overwhelm you. It could really be content 2 hours.
Yeah.
And for any of you that are going to say, I don't know if I have time for this, what you're really saying is, I don't value this, because we make time for what we value.
And let me reframe that. If you don't have time for this, you're doing this because you don't have time to be all things to all people at all times.
Yeah.
So you don't have time to be at all those places. And so if one video gets in front of 47 people and they hear your message, how much time would it have taken to get in front of 47 people to hear the message? So if you don't have time to do content day for a couple of hours in a day, you're so successful, you don't need it.
Yep.
Because we do have time, because our job is to go see people.
Amen. So also, guys, I would encourage you to go from what's called long form to short form content. And so long form content are videos that are in that kind of like 4 to 8 minute mark. And I know you could go, wow, that sounds forever. But you could tell me about real estate for 2 hours if I kept asking you questions at coffee. So this isn't an issue. You think it is, but it's not. If you get in the camera, pick 4 commonly asked questions, deliver them into the camera. Now, all those videos are already perfect for YouTube. And then those videos can be chopped up and turned into what's called micro content. So from 4 videos a month, you're actually getting 20-something pieces of content for you to post that month. And in a second, I'm going to tell y'all something that'll help with that. Also, from my favorite book, where is it? Oh, it's right here. So my favorite book ever is called Steal Like an Artist. It's unbelievable. We give our clients this book at their 90-day mark as a client because we believe in it so much. In this book, the author talks about celebrating copy. We've all heard rip off and duplicate, and I just don't like the negativity. I don't want to rip somebody off, but I'll celebrate you and then I'll copy you.
But you'll steal?
I will steal like an artist 100%. And so what I want y'all to realize is, guys, go watch what other realtors are doing and then go celebrate and copy. And if you need to, guys, go follow a realtor in Florida. Go follow a realtor in Vegas. Go follow a realtor in South Carolina so that you're not looking at other people within 30 minutes of you. Yeah. And go watch what they do. And when you see them do something that you go, oh, I think I could do that, celebrate and copy. It'll keep you encouraged. Also, guys, you need to know your body. I'm a morning person. So the later the day gets, the less I want to do video. And I can say, well, I'll do it this afternoon. I'm not going to. And then I'll say, well, I'll do it after the kids go to bed. I'm not going to. And so for me, I knock out video first thing in the morning because that's when I'm at my best. If you're not a morning person, don't do that. If you're a night owl, record your content at nighttime. But understand when you're at your best, and that's when you need to tackle this stuff. Because the weakest version of yourself isn't going to be the thing to be uncomfortable. All right, Danny's already got it. I love it. So know yourself. And then, guys, there's this thing called drafts on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. You can upload videos and then save them as a draft. And so what I'll do is, guys, I try to create at least 2 videos a day in some capacity. I don't always post them, but they're just in my phone. And so if I'm sick or when I'm in Vegas for 3.5 days, you're still going to see content coming from me, but it's something that I recorded a month ago. So we've got to change the way we view this stuff if we're going to win here. We don't have to live in the moment. We don't have to post it the second we do it. We just need to create some sort of rhythm for ourselves. And an easy way to do this, and I'm not going to spend much time on it, but I have a company called Content Compounding. We take realtor and lenders long form content, edit it for YouTube, and we post it to YouTube for you. And then we rip up those 4 videos and turn them into other content. It's incredible. If you fill out the form from any of the QR codes you saw, you can request information about this. I'll jump on Zoom and talk to you about it. But this is the game changer for you. Because if you think you're going to learn how to edit, you're not. You need to just record. And there's AI tools that can do some of this stuff that you can go look at as well. But you need a partner with this, and I'd love for it to be me. And so, guys, thank you for giving of your time today. I know y'all are busy. I know you have important things going on. And so I hope that this has been valuable and that it's been worth it. Please scan the QR code to stay in touch. Be connected to me on social. Why? Because most of you are bad at this. And so if you don't get connected to someone who is, that can encourage you and love on you and pour into you, you will continue to struggle. So however I can help you guys, I would be honored. That's all I got.